Hello there. So I'm not feeling too hot. I think at some point I got the flu. Tis the season for getting really freaking sick. And if there's anything that I don't like, it's getting sick. Because you don't get to do what you want to do. So here I am, doing this. Which is a hell of a lot better than just sitting around and feeling miserable. So I think this is more of my, for my benefit than for anybody else's. You know, it's like, it's not really for me, it's more, you know, it's for me. I'm doing this for myself. Seriously, I'm doing this for myself. Did I think it was for someone else? It's not, it's for me. So, let's see here. So we have a new content source. Can't think of it. And as you know, some have been great, some have been not so great. Some have been, you know, kind of just out of context that you're thinking to yourself, was there something else that I missed maybe? And then of course we not too long ago we're doing the funny videos where it was just like if you laugh you start over, if you laugh you go to hell, you know, compilations, and those were just ranging from brilliant to what the fuck did I just watch, and then some was just kind of out of context, like you would have had to have followed that TikToker at that particular time. And by the way, TikTok is back up again, but it's not quite the same. So if you ever had an account or something and you thought you would get it back, you're not going to. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I know, I checked, I tried to access my old account. It now signs back, it will sign up on Facebook and Google, I think Apple as well, but yeah, it's not available, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. TikTok's a piece of shit, so, you know, it just is. So, this is number 5, the Airbnb, and in case you don't know what an Airbnb is, it's like a very fancy place to stay. That's all I can say. Just look it up if you want to know what it is.
Airbnb. A woman who owns an Airbnb has been receiving some strange guest book entries by recent guests who have just stayed at the Airbnb. The most recent entry stated that when the guests arrived at night, the historical beauty of the house translated to haunted and slightly creepy. Not to mention there is an old porcelain doll in the cupboard and an antique music box. It's worth noting that the house is a 1700s colonial house with a disappointment room in the attic. So naturally, it could give off an old eerie vibe. But it's not until the next set of guests decide to stay at the Airbnb for 5 nights that things start to get creepy. After their stay, they said that on 3 out of the 5 nights, they heard strange noises coming from the locked attic door. After hearing this, the owner decides to set up cameras in the attic and spend the week alone inside the Airbnb to see if anything strange happens. On one night, she hears something terrifying and grabs her phone to record. This is what she captures.
Yeah, my volume's up, but it's only working on one earphone right now. Love audio on YouTube, it's fantastic. Oh, there we go. Turn this into an Airbnb. I'm just asking. Why would we do this? Oh, it's historical, yes. Historical, yes. Air conditioner, very nice. Kind of plain. attention. It looks like the house in Coraline. I'm already not liking the house. I'm just like, this is the house from Coraline. This is the Pink Palace. It looks just like it.
And this whole time I'm getting ring notifications that there is motion in my attic. And mind you, we moved the camera to this small room off of the attic. So like the timing right now is a little crazy.
Oh my gosh. What is that? Oh, that's you. I was like, what is that? What is it? There's motion, there's motion, there's motion, there's motion. Well, why don't you look at your notifications? If your phone is fucking blowing up, you should check it. See what's going on.
The whole time that she was hearing footsteps, the Ring camera in the attic was constantly sending alerts to her phone that motion is detected. But
So, yeah, technology is definitely something that can pick up. I think the spirit realm has a very unusual connection to technology and vice versa. To think that, I mean, we have haunted dolls, we have haunted objects, and I can tell you that it's very easy for them to inhabit an object, because an object is just, it's easily manipulated, and you don't have to worry about, obtrusive thoughts, you don't have to worry about emotions. It's just you and this object, that's just them and that object. So it's easier for them. And it's not saying that it's not enjoyable to be inside of us, but some spirits like drama free. They don't, want to inhabit humans. And there's ways of spirits living within humans without harming them. But unfortunately, there are evil spirits out there that do not care about preserving the vessel. They don't care about keeping it, which I think is atrocious, because it's like, we might live in different dimensions, but that doesn't mean that we can't get along. And it's actually frowned upon when it's considered sloppy if you're a spirit and you inhabit a body and you damage it in the process. That's considered very sloppy. It's considered parasitic. It's considered abomination on a lot of spirit-based communities out in the astral plane. 90% of the demons that I've met are all against forceful possession because of that fact, because of how damaging it is, because it is just not the way that you do things. You don't just take over. You ask permission. That person needs to welcome them into the home or into their bodies or whatever, or however they're channeling them. Sometimes it's just a telepathic connection, which I get telepathic connections from spirits all the time. Sometimes they'll send me things, and spirits will send out telepathic images and messages, and they don't always have like a specific person that they're sending it to. It's just that they send it out. It's like a signal. It's like a radio signal. You're sending it to someone. You're sending this SOS to someone, hoping that someone is going to hear it. And that's what they're kind of hoping. They're hoping that somebody that is telepathic or psychic or clairvoyant, or somebody that can connect with them will get that message. And it's quite exciting for them when they have somebody that can actually understand them and can communicate with them. And in that case, they have come to the right place. I know there's a lot of people that get really weirded out when they watch these things, because they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like something's watching me. As I said, a lot of these appearances are very deliberate. There's never a point, very rarely, and I'm going to say this, I can't give you a percentage, but I can tell you just logically that very rarely are the appearances done on accident. The only time that they are done on accident is if somebody just, became a spirit, or perhaps it's a child. The child isn't really used to being a spirit, perhaps they died at a very young age, and they're still, they may have been around hundreds of years, and they may have died hundreds of years ago, maybe even thousands, but they still have that childlike mentality, and they're still trying to mature, and they can mature as quickly and as slowly as they want to, at whatever pace that they need to. So it may be that there are awkward ghosts out there. I'm not saying that there isn't. Sometimes also they're not aware of how terrifying they are. Sometimes they're not aware of how intense they can be. So that's why it's very important to communicate, even if you don't understand them, but just to specify, to say when things don't work. You don't have to say, stop fucking doing that. You don't have to be rude. You just be assertive. You just be like, okay, this is not working. Okay, you chasing me down the hall is not working. You showing up out of nowhere is not working. You grabbing at my ankles as I go down the hall is not working either. Okay, it's not funny. I do not find it pleasant. It is not an enjoyable experience for me. And I had a spirit that was doing that was chasing me down the hall and grabbing my ankles, and then I would pass the bathroom, and they'd be going, ah, and I was like, this is not working. It's, first of all, it's fucking creepy what you're doing. It's really creepy. I don't like it. It's not working. And about 3 times, I had to actually tell that spirit about 3 times that I did not enjoy that. I did not like that. I just want to go down the hall without something grabbing onto me, please, and I was just like, it doesn't scare me, it doesn't terrify me, it makes me very nervous and uncomfortable for sure, but it's creepy, it creeps me out, please don't do it. And they eventually, about the 3rd time, they stopped, although every once in a while I look at the bathroom, and if it's open a little bit, I can kind of see something. It's usually just someone going, like, hey, and I'm just like, okay, hi, how you doing? But sometimes they like to make appearances, and that's just, that's what they do. But for the most part, I'm not really scared. I just communicate instead of being angry, instead of saying in the name of Jesus Christ or all that kind of stuff, or doing the sage, which, to be honest, the sage is just going to piss off a particular spirit. I mean, I'm just saying, if somebody came into your home and started saging the fuck out of it and they didn't ask you first, I would be pissed off too. I would be like, what are you doing in my home? And you have to remember, these spirits, they already lived here. You're being insulted that a spirit is just going around like it owns the place is like being mad that a deer is walking through your yard, okay? It wasn't you specifically, but humanity itself built houses in the backyard of where wildlife was supposed to be. They think it's theirs. They don't think that, oh my gosh, somebody lives here. They're like, oh my goodness, there's a house here. I don't remember there being a house here. So, do you think they're just gonna, go deeper into the woods? No. That's been their home for generations. So, that's the kind of thing with ghosts. You can't expect them, just because they don't pay rent doesn't mean, they don't pay rent because they're in a different dimension. They're not in the same physical realm that you're in. So, for all we know, their life could be very different. It could be an alternate life, meaning it could be really nice, it could be really horrible. We don't know what dimension that they are in that is somehow accessible, that is allowing them to be accessible and is allowing them to access this physical realm. Now, the fact that they are in a dimension that they can actually interact with us is astounding in itself, because there are many infinite realms that have no connection to ours. So, really, it's an essence of how strong they are, and that kind of thing. This is probably a very powerful spirit.
As you can see in the footage, there's no one there. Just a mere few minutes after this, the camera detects motion once again. This time, something creepy is captured. Watch closely.
Okay, opens. Open. I think I saw something in there. What is that? There is something there. It's a face or something. What is it with these pale women and dark hair? I don't get it. Okay, motion, 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 motion. And then it does it again. But what is that? Is that a box or something, or is that an actual face? Yeah, that's a face.
The door can be seen moving by itself, and the owner even says that there was no wind whatsoever. But even on a windy day, it wouldn't move that much. But the creepiest thing about this, which was pointed out in the comments by nearly everyone, is that there appears to be a creepy face in the bottom of the door when it opens. What looks like a face can be seen, and you can even see the bottom of its mouth closing before it fades into the darkness behind the door. Because of this, many people believe this 1700s historic house is haunted. Perhaps someone lost their life in the disappointment room. Let me know what you think. Haunted store.
Haunted store.
Around the start of September of 2024, a store manager was unpacking some items from a box alone in the store during the late hours of the night, when something terrifying startled him. Not sure what it was, he rushes over to check the security camera's footage. What he saw sent chills down his spine, so he immediately records a video to show what was captured. And that's when something even more terrifying happens that has left him shaken up.
Just putting things away from the box. Alright, now watch. I want you guys to focus on this area right here. Okay? Hold on, let me speed this up a bit.
They haven't got the first clue on how to use it.
Alright, watch.
If you have the doctrine right and you stow it on a shelf in your closet and do not pull that doctrine out.
Boom, you see that?
Yeah.
What good does that
I'll get back here for you guys to give you a better view.
I don't want to turn up the volume.
Look at that. And I'm just like tripping, like what just happened? At first I didn't know what the hell it was, but
that actually did happen recently. There was something in the cupboard, and it was like in the hallway area, and there was a cupboard, and something just like leapt out of there. I don't know, I kind of specified. I said something like, hey, why don't you move some things around? I've always given them the opportunity to do that. I'm like, you want to do things, you want to move shit around, you can do that. I don't care. Obviously, I know that they're not going to do anything to hurt me or my family, so I know I'm not going to get something more than I bargained for. So, and there's certain things that will just move, like, out of nowhere. And doesn't scare me. It's more of just like, it's little things. It's like, oh, it must have been on the edge or something like that. There are things that could be explained, but certain things that just don't make sense. I don't know. Maybe it was really packed in there. I know when you pack things in really tightly, sometimes something just a little bit moves and it goes boom, and it kind of gives it inertia, so to speak. So that could be very easily
see that there's a box on the ground. I'm like, okay,
but that
weird.
can't, because that was like on that was
And
kind of
I'm going to look to see what's going on. It fell, okay, but pay attention to this area right here.
I am.
I can grant that they've done a
Watch.
decent job that could teach justification correctly.
This is where I stopped recording because I heard a noise in the back.
Are you deaf? That's not what I asked you.
What do you mean a noise?
Is that you?
Oh, it's like a Goodwill. What is this? Goodwill?
Look.
No, it's not a Goodwill.
I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. It's just me.
Then who is the...
See that?
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Come out. I'm not afraid of you.
That's what you say. That's what they all say. It is. It's what they all say.
Is
Not
that
for
you?
real.
I threw down the box earlier?
This is another thing.
Come on out.
It knew it was being watched. There's another thing. That's not a coincidence. For instance, he had so he was recording and he saw that activity. Now, I know that this is deliberate because, for one thing, immediately after he saw that, he stopped the recording and something was talking, he heard something. So that suggests that the entity quickly reacted, knew immediately, okay, so this is an experienced spirit. Whether it's human or not, it's hard to say. I haven't seen anything yet. There's definitely a presence that I feel here, but I think what's going on is this is obviously an entity that really, really wants to be heard, wants to be seen. And so it was tripping the boxes, and then immediately, boom, he hears something behind him. So this is very much a deliberate thing. It's like a hook, line, and sinker here. He's trying, it's deliberate, because how can two things happen simultaneously? Boom, a box, and then something behind them. Now, they are very fast. Spirits are probably a lot faster than can react faster than we can. They can do a lot of damage. They can do a lot of damage when they're together with other spirits. It could be two spirits, but I'm feeling a central spirit. I'm not feeling one that's necessarily I see this as a very fast reacting spirit. The spirit immediately reacted, immediately responded to this, and went on to the next thing. They said, okay, somebody's watching, I know this, and who would this be? Okay, well, it's security. It's the only guy. There's only two guys there. One guy's in the back and one guy. So it's kind of very self-explanatory right there. You know, they don't have to use their brain a lot. They don't have to use much, critical thinking there, because, there's only two people there. And so, obviously, so it's the response that really shows that this is deliberate. And this is what I'm trying to get at, is a lot of this footage is deliberate. It is purposeful. It may be just for fun or just to entertain or amuse themselves, but either way, they plan to do this and they plan to get seen, because first of all, I don't know why they plan to do this, but they want to. And sometimes they're reaching out, other times it's entertainment, sometimes it's just the fact that they need to be social, and they need to be social with humans specifically. So, or sometimes it's just an experiment for them to see how we react to certain stimuli, which has happened quite a lot. They have their own experiments where they try to figure things out, and they're just like, what does this do, I wonder? But they don't mean any harm a lot of times. They're very curious, they love to learn, they love to observe, and they are very interested in, especially if they've never been human at any time. Our way of life is very fascinating to them. So they're just there to get answers, possibly. Could be any number of things, who knows.
You don't scare me.
That's what they always say.
Come on out, pussy. Always trying to mess with me.
I'm sorry, that's just rude. I wouldn't say that to a spirit.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's called karma. Do not be disrespectful to spirits. You disrespect them, they disrespect you back. They believe in equality, okay? You disrespect them, it's gonna be returned to you. That's how it works.
No.
Now, unless they're evil,
Hell no. No.
that right there was just self-defense. What happens? You called them a name, okay? You called them a name, which is a derivative of what means you're soft, you're cowardly. You don't have what it takes to show up. Well, it looks like he touched him. Or did he or she, but whatever entity it is, looks like they touched this man. And, because, well, you insulted them, okay? You insult them, that's disrespect. So, if you're telling someone, so it's like, it's kind of like when Biff says to Marty McFly, "What's the matter, you chicken? You chicken?" That's what you're doing. You're saying, "You chicken? Are you too weak to show yourself?" They're gonna say, "Fuck no, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you." So best thing, do not insult the spirit unless you know them and they know that you're joking. Like sometimes there's a sense of humor that, like, my spirits understand when I'm joking. You know, they understand when I'm joking and that kind of thing. You know, there's a cruel kind of joking that you can get into, just like you can get in with people. But this guy was being serious, and he sounded serious. He says, "I'm not afraid," but I'm going to tell you, you can have big boy imagery, but that don't mean that you've got the big dick to pull out when you need to. Okay? That does not mean. You can have the energy, you can have the attitude, but if you're... They know that you have the slightest insecurity, okay? And you can talk big, but that don't mean that you are big. That don't mean you a big boy, okay? Because they will, if they know that arrogance is a problem with you, and they can very quickly see that, they're gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna put you in your place, boy. I'm gonna put you in your place." So don't mess with entities that you don't know. Don't be calling them names. Be respectful. Say, "I'm very curious about what you're doing here." Don't say, I'm not afraid of you, bro. I'm afraid of you. You come at me, bro. Come at me, bro." Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. That is pussy energy right there. Okay? That is. It's very, I'm just gonna say, that is not good energy you want to be putting out. Because first of all, you can have very, very many, like, it's obvious that he's scared. And it's obvious, I feel his fear, I feel that he's sweating. He is scared, but then he's saying that he's not scared, and that's what's pissing them off. And not on top of it, he's lied to them. He has lied to them by saying that he's not afraid. And besides lying to them, he has also insulted them. So this is massive disrespect on his part. I'm sorry. You know, I don't think that, as I said, I wasn't calling this guy a PUSSY. I was just saying that energy is, if you're saying that you're a big boy and you're scared, just be freaking honest about it. Just say, "I am fucking terrified right now." And I know men have a hard time saying that. Women have a hard time saying it too, okay? We're both in the same boat. Sometimes, you know, I don't want to cry in front of people, but sometimes it's inevitable. Like, I don't want to cry at all because I think that is a weakness, but I found out that that's a strength. So really, you know, it's okay to be scared, bro. It's okay to be scared, because being scared is what they're trying to get at. And if you're gonna be, just tell them that you're scared, that this is scaring you shitless, this is making you shit bricks right now. Just say that. Don't be a bullshitter, you know? Nobody likes a bullshitter. Spirits don't like a bullshitter. Just be honest. Just be honest about it. Because the spirits, they know your insecurities. They know about your arrogance. They know, they've been observing you. They've been watching you. They know things. Anything and everything is accessible to them. They can look through your browser history if they wanted to. Okay? They live in a different dimension that's beyond our comprehension. Do you think that they don't know who you are? Do you think that they don't know what's going on and how conflicted you are inside? You want to be a big, brave man, but it's hard. You can be brave and be scared at the same time. The thing that makes you brave is the fact that you go through your fear and you keep going. So, yeah, be brave, but admit your fears, bro. Admit them.
Where am I? I'm here. Where am I going?
So he's getting a little freaked out.
Look, there I am, right there.
Oh.
Look, you see that? You see that? Nah.
Wow.
No.
No.
Hell no.
One of the security cameras monitoring an entrance captures something suddenly pulling a bit of his hair out of nowhere. The way his hair is tugged even though he is alone
That has
really
happened
got
to
to
me.
him.
That has happened
After
to me.
seeing the undeniable footage caught by the store CCTV,
I can't tell you how many times that's happened, but I've had sensations of things. When I was watching some of these videos, I felt like somebody went kind of like this with my hair. It wasn't aggressive. It was more of just like it was very deliberate and very gentle. It was almost like someone was kind of pushing my hair up. And it was almost like that, so it wasn't aggressive or anything. It was...
to the conclusion that something indeed haunts his store. But I'll let you be the judge. The knocking. Ever since moving into a new home, a man has been hearing strange knocking sounds coming from the front door late at night. But there doesn't ever seem to be anyone there. On one night, this exact thing happens, but something else can be heard. Watch closely.
Ok, escuchen esto. Les estoy grabando esto. Son las 2:33 de la mañana.
And again, I can only hear it on this side. I forgot
Y
that my
estamos
microphone is on.
completamente asustados
Hello? Hello?
por estos sonidos.
Because of these sounds.
No sabemos qué
We don't know
esté detrás de
what
la
is behind the
puerta,
door.
pero
We do not know.
estamos muy
We are very
asustados.
scared. CC. Hello? I don't see anything. Wait. What is
Al
there?
parecer,
I don't
se ve
see
nada.
anything. I see.
pero
I wouldn't be opening the door.
sí,
It's
efectivamente,
there's
como
something
pueden ver
creaking.
a simple vista, pero
No,
no es nadie.
I'm not gonna open the door. Did you freaking
Pero
hit the head? It was like If there's a freaking gremlin sound coming from the other side of the door, please don't open the door. Unless you know who the gremlin is. You know, maybe the gremlin is a friend of yours. I don't know. Let them in if it's a friend of yours. But if you don't know the gremlin, don't let them in. You know how they are when you feed them after midnight. They're very rowdy guests, okay? You know, you've seen gremlins once. Seen gremlins too. Okay. Well, maybe you haven't seen either of them, but I'm just saying letting gremlins into the home is usually not a good idea. It's not. And this is common sense here.
siente como que si alguien me vigilara. Vamos para adentro mejor. Vamos adentro, vamos adentro.
Ta-da. I'm going to... Yes, locking the door is
Okay.
going to keep me from
Les grabo esto
any
para
evil
que
entities.
se
It's
den
really gonna
cuenta
help.
que
It's gonna help.
esto está pasando casi todos los días. Ok.
You can come
bueno.
in. Locking the door isn't gonna help.
What?
They're spirits.
No manches.
Let me lock the
Strange
door.
sounds can be heard as well as knocking, but when he opens the door, he sees nothing there. After reviewing the footage, he noticed what looks like a face can be seen hiding around the corner just watching him. The very next night, he sees something utterly terrifying.
Amigos, son las 5 de la mañana. Toda
Yet
la noche
again,
se me escucharon
shitty
ruidos,
diet, shitty sound.
lamentos y
Only hear it in
la verdad no sabemos
the
qué
left side.
No manches, ¿qué fue eso? Ok, vamos.
I don't
Realmente, amigo, no sabemos.
really don't know friends.
Escuchen. No manches, nuevamente, ¿qué es eso? No puede ser. Mira lo que estoy viendo, amigos.
There is something there,
¿Escuchan eso?
but I don't know what it is. Looks like hair. Wait, what is that?
Para todas esas personas que dicen que esto es mentira.
Okay, I don't know what that is
Esto es
exactly.
increíble, amigos. Es
Oh.
increíble. Escuchen, realmente no entiendo lo que quiere decir.
It looks like hair.
Creo que se ha ido. Fuck.
Ever since opening the door, things
yeah.
have slowly been getting worse.
It's obviously some sort of banshee. Possibly one that is not happy with its, yeah. So I would say that's a banshee siren or some sort of banshee vampire of some sort. Vampires are very much spiritual entities. They usually do not take actual blood. They take energy, but that can be a problem, especially if you don't have something to replenish it with. As I said, it's usually energy, but very rarely do they actually consume bodily fluids, because for one thing, they can't really. It's kind of like, I don't know, throwing water at a shadow, you know. Physically, we are just seeing a projection of what they are. The fact that we can see them is very unusual, so for them to actually take blood, it kind of would be, it just does not compute. It just doesn't work. It's getting a square peg into a circular hole, or a circular hole into a square peg. It doesn't work. So, that being said, it's just like, I don't know, I think this is a very tortured creature of some sort, and it's very much asking for help. Unfortunately, it's terrifying people in the process, I guess.
And now on the next night, he starts experiencing strange events inside his home.
Después de lo que pasó anoche,
So that was just,
las cosas
that was
están
anything
saliendo del
paranormal.
control.
It was just,
Es el segundo día desde que abrimos la puerta y esto está pasando
just stuff going on
el
inside.
día de hoy. Como pueden ver, siguen
We
molestando.
have stuff going on inside.
La
so.
puerta sigue sonando como que si estuviera alguien detrás de ella. Sé que muchos de ustedes me dijeron que no abriera, pero bueno, aquí vamos.
How many doors do you have? You
Mira,
got,
lluvia
you have like 2 doors.
y no hay nadie. Nuevamente no hay nadie,
Your
solamente
screen
lluvia.
door has a lock.
Y vamos a cerrar.
You're
Yeah.
secure, bro.
Vamos a ver qué
No
pasa.
one's coming in except spirits. You.
En el video anterior sé que muchos de ustedes me dijeron que no abriera la puerta, pero
course, that lock.
Bueno,
It kind of sounds
ya,
silly.
ya, ya. Escuchen, les digo,
They really
esto
want
se
in,
salió de
whatever
control
it is.
y
I feel a lot of desperation. I don't feel like it's. I feel it's very hungry.
no
but I
sé
also
cómo
feel
pararlo.
like it just
No sé
needs help.
cómo va a terminar. No sé cómo va a terminar esto.
He says in Spanish.
Escuchen.
That was not mine.
Esto es realmente traumatizante para
This is
mí.
really traumatizing to me. Yeah.
Y como les dije ayer, amigos,
Well, it's already inside the house, obviously.
la televisión.
Oh, is it getting a good channel? Can you give me a
Mire.
good channel, please?
No sé si alcanzan a ver. No sé si alcanzan a ver que
Can I
se,
get a new channel?
se proyecta una
I
imagen
want a new channel.
muy extraña. Ok. Miren. Oh, ¿Qué fue eso? No manches.
What was that? No way.
The lights go off on their own and the TV starts to go static before displaying some disturbing imagery. What looks like a demonic face can be seen. Upon realizing this, he immediately runs away from the TV screen.
This is really
He has no idea what may be lurking around his home, but he found out that the two previous residents moved out for no apparent reason shortly after moving in, and he believes this is why. Real ghost or not, as always, you judge. If you have any video recommendations, you can
I
send.
think this was a banshee siren of some sort, and somebody turned it too quickly into, so now it is like this banshee siren with this bloodlust or lust for energy, and it doesn't know what to do, and it's very confused and desperate, and it's figuring out slowly that it can actually be seen and heard because it's very powerful now. And as you know, with vampires, darling, vampirism just makes things a lot stronger. It amplifies things. So, if you've seen in all of those movies, even just a single bite from vampire can be very potent. It can give you some superhuman strength. The blood of a vampire can very well heal you, just like in Renfield with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. And it was a very... And turning into a vampire isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially from a spiritual perspective. But I have a feeling that this was not consensual. This turning was not consensual. It was not discussed. It was not. Nobody asked their opinion about it. So now we've got this problem. So yeah, I'm guessing that this is very desperate spirit. It's trying to reach out. I don't think it's trying to harm him specifically, but he may wake up quite drained if he's not careful. This isn't going to hurt him potentially, but it's probably going to drain his energy quite. This is probably, so kind of what happens with any spirit that has been touched by vampires. Specifically what happens is they become either an incubus or a succubus. Incubus is the masculine, and succubus is the feminine. So incubus is male, succubus is female. Now, it is said that with demons that are incubus or succubus, that they can change their gender at any time, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really associate with a lot of incubus and succubus. I'm sure they're around. I'm sure I have a couple. I don't have any problem with them. Just as long as they ask me first, okay? But, no, I can't say that I've had much trouble with them. I don't go out of my way looking for them either, so.
Send them over to depthsofdespairbusiness@gmail.com or tag us on TikTok at depthsofdespairyt. Cursed. The following video was taken by a security camera outside of a taco shop. A woman named Vanessa went to a nearby taco shop along with her husband not far from their house. Her husband was really excited for their weekend plans, but his mood suddenly took a strange turn after entering the restaurant. He told his wife Vanessa that a man kept staring at him. to which she told him to ignore it. As they waited in line to place an order, he said he was beginning to feel unwell. His wife tells him to go and wait in the truck while she makes the order. While she's waiting in line, something terrifying happens, and she hears someone say a man outside fell. Thinking it might be her husband, she rushed outside to check. This is what the camera captured while she was in line for food.
Wow. So a man fell.
Her husband can be seen falling over to the ground in a very bizarre manner. As Vanessa realizes it's him, she calls 911 and starts administering CPR, but he doesn't respond. Now here's where things start to get creepy. At this point, some firemen arrive and begin to evaluate him, to which he suddenly hissed and started sticking his tongue out in a very demonic fashion. Vanessa says he looked evil and was acting erratic, which is very strange and unlike him. Her husband was taken away in an ambulance, and that's when the store owner approached Vanessa and showed her the video, saying he had something strange to show her. His face was looking pale, as if he had seen a ghost. He shows her this video and for some reason doesn't show the full thing.
I don't know about you,
It's not till later when...
So, just saying, I have seen mentally ill Karens hiss at people. It's not necessarily demonic, and I'm gonna say, okay, you know, snakes actually have a significance within healing, within the magical community. They are very much connected. When you see an ambulance, you will see a snake and around a staff, which is actually from the Bible, believe it or not. Moses had a snake on a staff, and he would show it to people and would heal them. So snakes are very much within mythology and within history to be very healing. And it is said that in the beginning these creatures were actually very much like what we would know as a modern dragon. There are versions of the Bible that actually says that the snake, before it was cursed, was actually, it had wings at some point and was flying around. There is, of course, no actual like physical evidence that existed. Some of that, you know, there's history, and you know, it's been up for debate. Is the Bible true? And I have to say there's some truth in it, yes, of course, but a lot of creative licensing went into it. I don't think it's 100% true. I think a lot has been lost in translation. It's been translated so many times that we're not really sure what it means right now, and whether it's like actually viable with what we're doing today. And so snakes are, to me, as scary as they may seem to be. I don't think snakes are typically a sign of something demonic. There are spirits of snakes, so it's quite possible that he perhaps, I don't know, there are a lot of animals that can appear evil. Have you seen goats at night? They look evil. Have you seen cats that look at you and they give you the Kubrick stare? Yes, a lot of animals appear to be evil. Are they evil? Sometimes, but for the most part, animals do things out of instinct. And perhaps this spirit was just temporarily possessing him, and it doesn't seem like there was any damage done. I mean, he fell over. That could have been natural causes. Perhaps this spirit was trying to help him, you know? Snakes are very connected with as far as shamanism and witchcraft, is very being healing, because as we know, snakes can be very terrifying, but they also have something in their venom that can help actually cure it. And we're actually doing a study now of looking at the proteins that are in snake venom, and it very well, we don't know for sure, but it might in the future actually be the key to curing cancer in the future. So snakes are important, and don't let any devil or demon or whatever Satan that's out there tell you any differently. They're not cursed. They're actually very timid animals. They're very gentle. They don't, very few people die from them a year, I'm going to tell you. And they are extraordinary creatures, adaptable. They survive. They don't seem to ever be endangered because they make a lot of themselves. They make quite a lot of, maybe, but it could be the fact that he fell and this is his spirit guide that's trying to help him. Because I don't feel like this was demonic. I feel like this was, I don't know. I feel in my gut that this was just like...
When her husband is discharged and arrives home, that she finds out his side of this terrifying story. He says once again that there was a man in the restaurant that wouldn't stop staring at him. The man then began whispering something really fast while staring intensely at her husband, and that's when he began to feel ill. For some reason, nobody else in the whole restaurant heard the whispering, except for Vanessa's husband. He says as he started to walk outside towards the truck, he suddenly felt disoriented and didn't know where to go, even though the truck was right in front of him. As he turned back to look at the restaurant again, he felt something push him, and that's when he falls over. Whatever it was that pushed him then started lifting his legs up in the air, as seen here. They believe that the man in the restaurant passed something evil onto him, as if casting a curse on him for some reason. After hearing the full context of the video, it's definitely terrifying, as what became of the mysterious man nobody knows. What do you think it was? Let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments. The Hole.
Oh, not this
A
one.
man was working on the outskirts of town somewhere in Tobruk, Libya, as an animal caretaker when one day, while walking around the nearby area, he hears some strange sounds and stumbles upon something creepy. Watch closely.
It's the one where he thinks that he finds hell. He thinks that it's hell.
A pair of large glowing eyes can be seen at the bottom of the hole looking up at the man, along with some unexplainable sounds. Many people believe it's some sort of cryptid or predator, and the noises are cats stuck down there, while others think it's haunted. But as always, the judgment is yours to make. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. I think there was something very evil going on right there. Like, I know I said that I didn't feel, like I said at first, oh, I don't think it's anything bad. But that was just my first thought. What I am feeling is that, yeah, that wasn't a man. Okay, that wasn't a man that was looking at him. That was a demon of some sort. Possibly the soul of a sorcerer or warlock, that probably did some sort of ritual, to be what he is. And there are a lot of rituals that should not be done within witchcraft, and that's probably one of them. He was probably some sort of necromancer, and he did some sort of ritual, possibly a ritual that caused him to, it was a ritual suicide of some sort, and he did something to himself so that he could be a powerful spirit of some sort. Now, I don't usually come across such things, but yeah, that's definitely was. So it transformed. This was a man, and he transformed himself into a demon of some sort, into a snake demon to be more specific. And I think he was probably trying to achieve being a god, and if he is a demon, he probably was trying to do something for some other evil entity. As you know, when you're in the... So this was like a deed, an evil deed that he had to do in order to... And it was probably he had to temporarily possess somebody. This was like his first job, his first task that his demon lord had given him. And this is one of those things. So yes, it's very much, I think that's kind of what was going on with that. It seems kind of scary. That is quite terrifying what just occurred. Yeah. Yeah, that it doesn't seem like it did much harm, though. I mean, it made him pass out, but it wasn't as intrusive. It wasn't like a possession where it... Yeah. I feel that it wasn't as serious as some possessions out there. I think it was just more of a, you know... Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Let's go with Sir Spooks again. Sir Spook. The Spookies.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today
Hello.
we'll take a look at 11 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more scary content.
But before you do...
Alright, with that said, let's begin.
Before you do...
This first video...
All I know is I'm not really scared of snakes. I'm not scared of rats. I'm not scared... I could probably deal with a tarantula. In fact, I thought about getting a tarantula. I could probably do that, yeah. I should probably get it. But anyway, you must look at my snakes. My snake rings. You should see them. I have snake rings. They are beautiful. And this is should tell you what I think about snakes. I love snakes. Snakes are my best friends. I would have a snake, but that it's animals and they take work and yeah. Responsibilities. I don't want any more. Plus I'm kind of sick right now, so I don't really want to do that.
Video comes to us from the popular YouTube channel Professor Cynical, a YouTuber who typically uploads videos of himself playing and reviewing different video games and consoles. However, there's one particular video on his channel that sticks out like a sore thumb. Uploaded in July of 2024, the video shows Cynical explaining that he believes his apartment may be haunted. As Cynical is explaining this to the audience, something incredibly strange happens directly behind him. Take a look and see for yourself.
This is another ring that I have. And this is my, actually one of my favorite ones right there.
I'm sick of this. So just to show you guys that there's, oh, for God's sake, literally nothing here. Sorry, my tripod getting caught and everything. Literally nothing here. See, absolutely nothing. Just show you as well. Oh, this shit is crazy.
However, my favorite ring is
Strangely,
this
the
ring.
door handle can be seen moving all by itself. After this, Cynical proceeds to go to his kitchen and begins to film the surroundings to show that there's nothing in his apartment. A couple of minutes later in the video, He then asks any potential spirits in the house if they can make something move. Amazingly, it seems as though something listens. Watch this.
Yeah. Professor Cynical.
something move? Again?
Can you make something move? Please? He says it very nicely. I love it how he says that so nicely. He just says it nicely. He's just like, can you please do it? Do it for me, please?
anything move?
Seems like a sweet guy. Yes, we can! That fear is very natural, I would say. That's a natural fear.
Then,
right there.
about 30 seconds later, something else happens that causes Cynical to once again pick up his camera and walk around his apartment just to prove that he's supposed to be completely home alone.
Don't worry about that. That was my air freshener going off
Don't worry about
automatically.
that.
8 minutes. Bargain.
No, don't worry about it. Cool. Door moves. I don't know.
Nah, mate. Nah.
I don't think this is scary anymore. The doors moving, you know, kind of old.
Nah.
Kind of old.
Nah. Nope. I am moving out.
I am moving up. You're actually smart.
I don't know what this is. I don't care
You're
what
smart.
this is.
You're
Nope.
smart.
Just showing you again, ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody else here. Nope.
To this day, Cynical
He's a-
isn't sure
he's a
what
smart-
exactly is going on inside of his apartment, but he definitely suspects there's something paranormal in nature happening. After watching this footage, I have to agree.
Okay, so we'll stop that here. Gotta get me some lunch. Get some lunch going. So